Okay, guys, next we're going to talk about market structure and support and resistance zones. Some people call them supply and demand zones. Okay, we're simply looking for areas where support and resistance flips, either from support to resistance or resistance into support, depending on the direction of your trade. Perfect example of Ethereum. I've been tracking these support and resistance levels. We talk about these on streams. These are the levels we need to continue to break and retest for support in order to continue to the upside. Okay, starting back here. This is simply how I draw it. Same thing with the liquidity zones. We use the rectangle tool. You can go in, alter your zones to whatever colors you want. If you want it to say any text, whatever you want it to look like. Okay, so for me, I just use these. All right, so support and resistance zones. We see price come up and find resistance. You see the wick, you see the selling pressure come in here. Okay, and then when we break to the upside, we come back down and retest that previous resistance as support. Okay, and price came all the way back down once again to do the same. All right, several days later, a couple of days later. Okay, so price is retesting resistance into support, and then upon back test, show support once again. All right, and you can see it breaking up inside market structure. Not even adding in the scopes yet or the other support and resistance levels, strictly based off market structure alone. Okay, we come up here again. If I have a resistance, come back down, we have this support. All right, back into resistance, into support. The support breaks down, and you see it once again flip to resistance before that, that deep retrace back test of this level. We see we had green candles in the area to recover. You see how we start to incorporate every part of the strategy to understand where, when, and why price action occurs. All right, we break up again, retest this support zone. All right, see how we add in the confluences. There's the 50 moving average on the 1 hour, which is the 200 on the 15-minute time frame. All right, we retest support there, continue up, resistance at that zone again before the breakthrough, finding its next level, and then price drops back down. You see the support come in and break all the way back down to retest this level. And you see we add in those confluences like I said, right? Scope of the move, swing low, swing high, we pull it over. So when price comes back down to retest this support and resistance zone, it also lines up with the scope support. Confluence equals confidence. Okay, we add in confluences. All right, so just off this basic TA, you can start to understand how price action moves. Like I always say, level to level. All right, we formed this resistance zone here before the retest, and when price breaks back up on this pump to the upside, comes back down. Where do we retest support? Of course, right at the previous resistance level. And you can see it holding on. Look at this. Pin below, close above. Pin below, close above. Okay, breaks up again, retests. Breaks up again, comes back, and retests once again. Okay, so we are looking at price needs to continue to hold these support zones in order to continue to the upside. You can see we have formed a new zone here. Okay, and what it provides you with is not only the support and resistance areas, but it provides you with the opportunity to not have to focus on these single horizontal lines. Okay, we can see bigger zones. I use these more in the higher time frames, but they exist on all the lower time frames as well. We'll get into that in a minute. All right, so you can see we're coming back up still in this resistance zone. All right, lined up with what? This is the reverse scope of the whole cycle. Okay, or the whole move, so to speak, if we were to scroll out. So price, this is a whole nother zone that we would need to break and retest. You can see we're working our way up, and we have a zone here lined up with this. So upon the break, we would look for a retest in this area in order to continue to the upside. If we drop to the downside, we have this zone here, okay? And the zones can be extended across. All right, this is how price moves, level to level. All right, looks close together, but remember, this is the hourly time frame. As we go to lower time frames, okay, the zones start to spread out. All right, you can see how price moves from zone to zone. That's why I like to use the higher time frames. All right, you can see where the wicks come in, the buying and selling pressure, and we can see how price moves up accordingly. All right, if we go down to the lower time frames, we could probably get a couple examples of that as well here. Okay, very similar. We saw one earlier in the Discord. We were talking about it. Okay, you can see zones in here, right? Really quick. right? Again, I like to use them on higher time frames, but you can see price comes in here, right? Just a quick example of the lower time frame. Let me get the screen so you can see it all. Price coming back in once again to this zone here. All right, let me expand the screen. Coming back into this zone, all right? Resistance, resistance, breaks, support, comes back down, retest, support, 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 break, resistance, resistance. You're starting to get, I hope you're starting to get a clearer picture of the price action. We extended across. We could see previous support levels up in here. Again, like I said, I like to use them for the higher time frames more, but you can really get an idea of these zones on any time frame. And then you add in the confluences, of course. Look, this is the 800 EMA, which is the 50 on the 15-minute time frame, and this is the 50 on the 1 minute. All right, so a break above and retest of this zone coincides with a break, retest of the moving averages before possibly continuing to the upside, and vice versa. A break below coincides with a retest of resistance in the zone and of the moving averages. Okay, and that's how we do it. It's very simple stuff. Market structure, support and resistance zones. Okay, sorry that chart is a little busy with my other stuff I'm working on. Okay, we'll take a look at XRP, who is pumping to the upside. However, I did short on XRP. All right, you take a look at price action and you can already see, look, resist support level, flip to resistance. Okay, back into resistance. So as price continues to the upside, what do you want to see? Price come back down and test support in this area would also coincide with a retest of the moving averages once again. Okay, guys, so just practice your drawings, practice your drawing tools. Again, practice all of these different concepts on your chart. Go back and start to understand how price action moves through the market structure. Okay, people also call these supply and resistance zones, or an alteration of that. Okay, meaning what? When price comes down to this area, right, and you see this huge move to the upside, you then interpret that big institutional supply zones were here, or demand zones, sorry. Okay, where price rises to the upside and supply is reverse on the resistance side. Okay, because big money came in to move this market up. So this is a supply zone. So when price comes back down, you anticipate big money to come in once again at that level and possibly push price higher. Okay, guys, so just want to keep these videos quick, short, and sweet so you can see me actually pulling these levels on the chart, what I'm looking at, what is my mindset when I'm looking at it. Again, I like these zones because it's not a strict horizontal line, just like the other daily, weekly, and monthly support and resistance, or any horizontal line tool. It gives you a zone. Okay, it gives you a little bit of a cushion just to understand price action moving level to level. Right, when they line up with other confluences, that adds to your confidence. Okay, you can start to understand scope of the move, support and resistance zone. Maybe on the chart as well was a daily open or a initial balance low retest or a point of control. We just add in these confluences one at a time. Confluence equals confidence. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, trade well.